Hi, I'm DeDe. In this session, we'll perform seated exercises, sometimes at a slower pace, and sometimes utilizing a light resistance band, which can help us create better overall strength, stability, and balance. We'll do some stretches toward the end, which will increase our mobility, and here's what you'll need: a sturdy armless chair, athletic shoes, a light resistance band, and some water for hydration. If you don't have a resistance band, that's okay. You can create your own resistance during the exercises. Make sure you have plenty of room around your chair, and remember to always perform the moves at your own pace. So join me here in a seated position. So a resistance band looks like this, in case you're unfamiliar. You might have one of these, you might not. Like I said, you don't have to have a resistance band to do this workout. So let's sit away from the back of the chair, tall and straight, head over shoulders, shoulders over hips, legs in line with hip joints, knees over ankles, and then our feet are even and straight. All right, let's start with some double arm shoulder rolls, up and back and down. So the theme for today's session is to move at a slightly slower pace, because many times that can make a movement more challenging. So we'll see how you feel about moving more slowly. Up, around, back, and down. And two more. We're going to breathe throughout the whole session. No breath holding at any point. Now we tap the toes right and left. Tap, tap. Tap and tap. As always, you can hold the chair if you need to. If that's what it feels like to be secure for you, then you'll hold the chair. Otherwise, hands can go in your lap. Tap, tap, tap. We have plenty of time when we're moving slow to go through a full range of motion. So make sure you're doing that. Lifting your toes up high, in this case, and keeping your heels on the floor. Now we'll tap out, in with the right, and out, in with the left. Turn your toes out, but also your leg moves a little bit, doesn't it? It goes out to the side and back in. How about both feet at the same time? Out, in. Imagine that your feet are going over something. Like there's a little speed bump there that you have to lift your feet up and over. Can you feel that in the front of your shins? I sure can. Now let's stop. Roll your shoulder one arm at a time, up and around. Let's start to bend the elbow now. So the shoulder can stay down, elbow leading the way. So this is an arm circle now. Up and up. Imagine there's a canvas on each side of you, and you have paint brushes in your hands, and you're painting a circle on one canvas and the other. Make it a bigger circle now. Let's try to look toward the arm as it's in motion. Challenging our balance a little bit with that. All right, now just bend and straighten your arms. Bend, straighten. Now as we do this, lift your heels up and down, both heels up and down. Go as high on your toes as you can. Hopefully your shoes allow you to move your feet somewhat freely. Up and down. Now your arms come down and we'll circle the ankles right and left. Right, around, and left. So you point your toes and you circle the ankle. Now we'll turn the torso. Take your shoulder back. Take your shoulder back. A little elevation with the shoulder, not much, just a little, but take it back. So we're involving our whole body now. Again, it's a little bit of balance involved with this. Up and around, up and around. Take your shoulder back. 4, 3. Now stop, both feet on the floor. Let's circle around through our wrists. Around and around. Now the same motion, but make a light fist. Around and around. Now we'll press the palms together here and we'll go side to side. Make sure you have plenty of room in front of you and also off to the side. We're going to use all that space. Take your hands down, hold the chair. Let's extend one leg out, touch the heel, and then switch. Out, in. Let's rotate the opposite shoulder forward. Opposite shoulder. Now if you can do this without holding on to the chair, opposite shoulder. Now let's add an extending arm. Opposite shoulder and arm. Twist. Twist. You're still sitting up straight and tall. Turning your eyes, turning your head as you turn your torso. Unless that's too much for your balance, then you'll keep your eyes straight ahead. Reach. Turn your chest as far as you can. Now we'll go back to holding on to the chair and we'll extend the leg. Instead of touching the heel down, extend, bend, extend, bend. Turn your palms forward if you're not holding the chair. Open your chest. Open by bringing the arms back behind you a bit. So our leg is in motion, our arms are in motion, and that means your core has to pick up the slack a little bit and be stable and strong and brace you so you don't wiggle or wobble too much. Can you feel that happening? Four more like this. 4, 3. Now hold the chair, step out wide, right foot out and in, and left foot out and in. Now if you were on a clock face, you'd be going out to about 2 and 10, something like that. Now, can you turn your head opposite your leg? Turn this way. Turn this way. How does that feel? Opposite direction. Can you feel your body getting warmer? I hope you can. One more. Now come back to the center. Walk your feet apart, drop into a lunge. It's one of my favorite stretches, and one that is so easily done on this chair. 90 degrees with both knees. Now pelvis forward, pelvis back. Rock the pelvis. Tuck your tailbone under and press it out behind you. Two more. Turn to the other side now, right around. Get yourself lined up, 90 degrees with both your knees, holding onto the chair as much as you need to. All right, ready? Pelvis rocking now. Forward and back. Forward and back. Hi, Baxter. We have two more. One more time. Now let's turn right around to the other side. Once again, lunge position. This time your back leg is back a little bit further if you can get it back. Push the heel back. Lift your chest, hold on to the chair. Now we inhale up, hinge forward with your torso as you exhale. Again. Now notice that the back and the neck are staying in the same straight alignment. Up, down. Down, up, down. How about two more? Can you feel more stretch when you sit up right here? All right, let's turn. Try to move your back foot back a bit, sitting up tall. Now we hip hinge. Inhale up, and then exhale forward. So we feel the stretch here when we sit up, and we release the stretch a little bit when we come forward. When we come forward, though, we're stretching other parts, like our back, and a little bit through our hip on our seated hip side. Two more. One more time. Sitting up, turning forward. Now, separate your legs. Take your hands on your thighs. Let's reach one hand down and grab our stretchy band. And then we're putting it around our legs. So you bring your legs together. Again, you're not sitting against the back of the chair. Thread the band underneath. Take it up, wrap it over the top. Now you take the opposite sides into your hands and you cinch it up. I don't want to tell you how tight, because you're going to figure out how tight it needs to be, but tight enough so you feel some resistance. Now your feet stay flat. Watch, knees apart, knees closer together. Knees apart, you want to stretch the band. Now here's what we're not doing. We're not leaning out on our feet, so make sure you're not doing that. Keep your feet flat and use your hips. Instead of pushing with your feet, pull with your outer hip muscles. Can you feel them working? Now, if you're really struggling to keep your feet flat, here's something you can try. A few inches apart with your feet. Some people find that much easier to keep their feet flat. But if you can keep your feet together while you do this, that's even better. Can you feel the contraction in your outer hips on both sides? Make sure your hands are alongside your legs and you're not squeezing your fingers or your hands too tight. You don't want to impede the circulation too much. I really feel this. I hope you do too. How about one more? All right, stop. Take a little rest. Let's do this. Take the band away, hold on to it, cross your ankle over your ankle, and lean forward. Now you can have your hands on your legs or your forearms on your legs, but keep your back long and straight with your shoulders away from your ears. This is a little hip stretch. Now hands on your legs, if they're not already there, help yourself up. And we cross the other ankle over, and we hinge forward. That's a little recovery for our hips. All right, press yourself up. Bring your feet side by side. Once again, we go underneath. Sorry, Prissy, did I scare you? Sorry. Underneath the legs, and then up and over the top. All right, so then we're bringing the feet close together. We're holding on along the sides of our legs once again. Now we step out and step in, and the other side. Step out, step in. Stay tall through your spine. And remember, we're stepping out with the foot and the knee, not just the foot. So let me show you what we shouldn't do. You shouldn't do this, okay? Because that's not working your hip muscles. We want to do this, out, like a door swinging open and a door swinging shut. Step out, step in. Now, how tight you have this band around your legs, which band you're using, and how far out you're stepping each time, those are totally up to you. If you don't have a band, you're just resisting, right? Just resisting with your hip muscles or with your hands. So if you're resisting with your hands like this, then that gives you an extra layer of challenge because you're using your arm muscles, your chest muscles, your back muscles, and your core. Okay, so they're both valuable with the band, without the band. They're both good. And one more time. All right, come back to the center. Now, if you can, cross your ankle over your ankle or your ankle over your knee. If you're able to get here to this figure 4 stretch, join me here and lean forward. This is a little bigger stretch. If you have your ankle on top of your knee, it's a little bit more stretch than last time. All right, and then we sit up and we switch legs. Ankle over ankle or ankle over knee. Sit up tall and lean forward. All right, and then we're sitting all the way up. Now, we need to pick up our band, or don't use a band and just use your own resistance with your body. So here's what we're doing with it now. Put it on the ground, put your right foot on it, and then step your left foot out of the way. Now make sure that it's under your foot securely and it's not going to come out from under, okay? And then we're holding it with an overhand grip with both hands, sitting up straight and tall. Now watch, we pull away, and we come back to the starting point. Now we're turning everything together. The chest, the arms, the shoulders, everything turns together. So you see that it would be bad if you lifted up your foot or if it slid out from under your foot, right? Pull up and away and back to center. So this is working our core, our shoulders. Our core is everything except for our arms, legs, and head. So that's a lot of our body that's working. Up and away. And 2 more. All right, stop, and then we'll switch. So it goes under your left, and then you hold it with an overhand grip with both hands. Now, if you're not using a band, you just resist with your trunk muscles, all right? Okay, get about the same amount of resistance as you had on the first side. Up and turn, back to center. Up and across, and back to center. So we've been moving relatively slowly for this session. Do you feel the difference between moving quicker and moving more slowly? I sure do. Three more. Last 2. Last 1. All right. So step off of that if you're using your band. You can put it back underneath your chair now. Make sure you support with one hand. Now's a great time to grab a drink of water as well. Staying hydrated is very important. I love to talk about that. All right, we're already kind of where we need to be. Feet apart, sitting up tall, hands on your thighs. Now we do that hip hinge that we did earlier in the lunge. Inhale, exhale, hip hinge. Again. Now imagine that there's a string coming out of the crown of your head and someone's pulling it taut. So that's helping to keep you long and straight. Now we come forward, we stay forward this time. Inhale there, drop one shoulder down, exhale, twist, and then center, inhale, drop the other shoulder, twist. As you twist, you'll feel it in your spine, but then you may also feel it in the front of your shoulder. Now this time we twist and we stay in the twist. Stay here. Remember to keep your back straight and neutral and long. And then come up and switch. And then we'll come all the way up. All right, one more time, we're moving into our lunge position. Turn this way, 90-90, and then take your back leg further back, wiggle your back foot back, and then pull your front ribs in and try to turn your torso around to the side. Let's take our arm out. The arm closest to me comes out. Shoulders down, chest lifted. Feel that wonderful stretch. Can you feel it in the front of your hip? Now, if it's okay with your shoulder to bring your arm up, go ahead and do that. Keep pushing your left heel back. And then let's release. Turn the other way now. Go slow. "90-90", and then wiggle your back foot further back. Pull the ribs into your body, and then take your arm closest to me out. Start low, holding on to the chair. If you need to hold on with both hands, you can. And then if you want to lift your arm up higher, feel free to do that. Lifting your chest up. Keep pushing your right heel out behind you. And then let's release. Coming back to the center. Slide to the front edge of your chair. Straighten your right leg out, flex your foot, and then hands on your thighs so you can hip hinge forward or forearm and hand. Now, where do you feel this? Can you feel it in your calf area, maybe even in your Achilles tendon down by your ankle? Can you feel it in the back of your thigh, maybe even up toward your hip? Hands on your legs, let's come up, and we'll switch. Bent, straight, hip hinge. Hands or forearm, and reach down to your shin. Sometimes moving slowly is the way we need to move into an activity. We need to start slow. When you go out for a walk, start walking a little bit slower than your peak speed. Sometimes when we're doing a lot of things at one time, it's best to go slowly. Moving slowly can be really good. Now hands on your legs, help yourself up. Now while we're at the front of the chair, bend your knees, knees over ankles, reach around behind, grab the back of the chair, slide your hands up as high as you can, and then lean into it, leading with your chest. So not your chin, your chest. And feel that big stretch across the chest, around the collarbone area, in towards your sternum, out towards your shoulders. And then we'll sit all the way up. Slide back a little bit. Slide your feet back with you. Now we'll take one hand on the chair and the other arm goes over for a side stretch. And then let's come up, shoulder down, arm across your body. Right hand assists. This is a shoulder stretch. Feel it right in here. We used our shoulders a bit today with the resistance band or with the manual resistance that we did with our hands. And then the side stretch over this way. Hand on the chair, arm up. Breathe into wherever you feel this stretch. Do you feel it in your side ribs or your waist or your low back? Direct your breath into those spots. And then we're up and we're moving into the shoulder stretch. So shoulder down, arm across, and your other arm comes in for the assist. And then release your arms, roll your shoulders up and around and back and down. So how did you do? By moving our arms and legs and torso faster or slower, which is what we did today, or with resistance, which is also what we did today. We were able to create a demand for greater strength and stability, which can help us move better and have fewer falls. Nobody wants to fall. Nobody wants to fall. Nobody wants to sustain injuries from a fall. So practicing balance, even from a sitting position, moving slowly, even seated, can help us prevent falls. Thanks for joining me. Thank yourself for being here and treating yourself well. I'll see you next time.